Restored Republic via GCR update as of April 21, 2020. Judy note, from today's intel it was my opinion that mass arrests were going on very smoothly and there would be no need to activate the presidential emergency system. The arrests would likely culminate early this week. Last Wednesday the 15th of April the elders had released global currency reset monies in the Dubai One account with the understanding that the GCR could not be stopped and all would be paid out this week. Between Wednesday the 22nd of April and Thursday the 23rd of April, the Tier 4 Internet Group, US, would likely be notified of 800-S in order to set appointments to exchange currencies and redeem ZIM. It was said that we would have until Thursday the 30th of April to redeem ZIM bonds and exchange certain foreign currencies at contract rates. After that and on Friday the 1st of May the general public would be able to exchange their foreign currencies at the new international rates as shown on the Forex at the time of their exchange. Markets on the petrodollar. Did we just witness Armageddon and the death of the US petrodollar? Oil has backed the US dollar since August 15, 1971 when Nixon took the US off of the gold standard. Look for sheer panic to move into DC and the banking world tomorrow Tuesday the 21st of April. Mass arrests. According to the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force right now there was literally an underground war being fought in underground tunnels that ran throughout the US from Mexico to Canada and California to New York. Since last October the US military and Marines have brought out of those tunnels over 5,000 tortured children, babies and teens, some deceased. Ca. Many of the over 170,000 sealed indictments were now being served. George Soros, former U.S. Presidents George Bush Jr. and Barack Obama were believed arrested and in, or headed for Gitmo where they faced military tribunals for treason and other crimes. CB, Indictments, docs.google.com web link. A update, the military was still rescuing abused children from an underground tunnel beneath Central Park, Timothy Homestead, Utah. Web link. 1. Under the authority of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force military rescues of traumatized children from underground tunnels were ongoing. 2. There were over 50,000 traumatized children who have been pulled out of underground tunnels across the nation since last October, with more to go. 3. In New York's Central Park many of the babies and children rescued out of a tunnel into medical tents were deceased or dying by the time they got to the top and didn't make it. 4. The babies had lived their lives in a tunnel, couldn't be exposed to light and needed ventilators. 5. The military special forces were discovering many more smaller tunnels beneath cities and towns all over the country, run by Satan worshippers of the cabal. 6. Recent earthquakes have been caused by the military blowing up these deep underground military bases, DUMBs, so they couldn't be used again. 7. There was literally an underground war going on in the tunnels across the U.S., with both brave military troops and perpetrators being killed. 8. The operations were authorized under President Trump as our Commander-in-Chief, General Milley and other military generals of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. 9. The atrocities against children and youth that took place in the tunnels were so horrendous that if the stories were released right now, it was expected to cause rioting in the streets. 10. The information would eventually be released, but for now we were asked to pray for the soldiers and children. Soros, Bush, Obama arrested, at Gitmo facing military tribunals, David Zublick, www.youtube.com web link. 1. Billionaire George Soros has been arrested and detained in Gastenol, Switzerland before being extradited to the U.S. and eventually Gitmo to face a military tribunal as an enemy combatant against the U.S. 2. Former U.S. President George W. Bush has pled guilty to many charges including the planning and cover-up of 9/11, cover-up of his father's activities including violation of the RICO Act, treason, money laundering, pedophilia, child sex trafficking, assassination of U.S. President John F. Kennedy and attempted assassination of U.S. President Ronald Reagan. He has pled guilty and will be executed, but not before his testimony is given at military tribunals. 3. Because the military tribunals were expected to last up to 2 years, execution of former President George W. Bush has been delayed until conclusion of these tribunals. 4. Former U.S. President Barack Obama was at Gitmo. He has turned over several bits of info in a vain attempt to avoid execution on charges of high treason. He has given valuable information on the Benghazi massacre, cover-up of 9/11, Fast and Furious gun running, Hillary Clinton's crimes with the email scandal and much, much more. He was begging for his life. C. FISA abuse. The Inspector General, IG, has unearthed extraordinary abuses under the FBI's Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, program spying on American citizens, while another IG report revealed that the FBI deep state knew it was using tainted evidence to spy on a political campaign. Attorney General Barr feels they were trying to sabotage the presidency. D-disclosure. Most of the below documentaries have been released within the last month. Documentary Pedogate 2020 In-Depth Exploration, New Info. www.youtube.com Web link. Documentary Out of Shadows Official, How the Mainstream Media and Hollywood Manipulate and Control the Masses Using CIA Mind Control Propaganda. www.youtube.com Web link. Documentary Adrenochrome, The Elite's Secret Super Drug Obtained by Torturing Children, m.youtube.com Web link. Documentary The Storm Is Here, Illuminati Started the Pandemic for the New World Order, while the White Hats were using it to rescue over 3,500 tortured children and arrest perpetrators, www.youtube.com Web link. Pedogate 2020, www.youtube.com Web link. Noah looked like an idiot until it started raining. The rain is over. Now it's time for pain. Q. www.youtube.com Web link. 2016 documentary Trump, The Coming Landslide, an Ancient Prophecy on Donald Trump, www.youtube.com Web link. The enormity of what is happening will shock the world. Q. DDK www.youtube.com Web link. It's About Time Hillary Clinton Foundation under serious investigation, www.youtube.com Web link. April 19, 2020 Philip Tilton Facebook, www.facebook.com Web link. E. April 20, 2020 10:07 p.m. EDT. Oil Jedn, Death of Petrodollar Mart's tweet update the 20th of April 2020 oilprice.com web link. Flood of Saudi oil to hit U.S. shores as prices hit 10.html. Did we just witness Oil Jedn and the death of the U.S. petrodollar? Oil has backed the U.S. dollar since August 15, 1971, when Nixon took the U.S. off of the gold standard. Look for sheer panic to move into D.C. and the banking world tomorrow, Tuesday the 21st of April. There is nothing backing our dollar now. F. Flawed coronavirus tests sag to fake pandemic scare, utah.b web link. G. International child sex trafficking. Former child star Corey Feldman, pedophilia is Hollywood's biggest problem, www.youtube.com web link. Pedogate 2020, www.youtube.com web link. Pizzagate real footage, utah.b web link. Children freed underground tunnels, Operation Mercy and Comfort, www.youtube.com web link. beforeitsnews.com web link. 2,100 tortured children rescued from underground tunnels in 5 California locations, timothycharleshumseth.com web link. Navy medical ship Comfort treating abused children rescued from NY tunnels, timothycharleshumseth.com web link. Kids in cages, timothycharleshumseth.com web link. Hillary Clinton tortures child in satanic rites, timothycharleshumseth.com web link. Boats to recorded child attack, utah.b web link. H. April 19, 2020 police bust horrific Australian child sex abuse ring, Simon Benson, National Affairs Editor, The Australian, trib.al web link. www.facebook.com web link. A global child exploitation sting triggered by a U.S. Department of Homeland Security investigation has rescued 4 Australian children as young as 2 months old who were used to produce and exchange child rape videos and images through online pedophile networks around the world. The 2-year investigation was prompted by a U.S. Homeland Security covert operation into encrypted dark nets that operate through virtually untraceable networks on the web and cannot be accessed without specific software, making it difficult for law enforcement agencies to hunt down offenders. Homeland Security officers in Phoenix had uncovered the Australian operation.